Good morning, my beautiful diamond. Sheila True Love here with you. What are the benefits of having a wife in today's society? I ran into this beautiful young lady, and the way she breaks it down, hopefully these men will get it. They'll finally understand. I mean, she went all the way in and she made it very clear that marriage is not the way it used to be. Marriage this day and age is more like a partnership. Because when you look at the economy that we live in today, both people have to work. And when you think about a mother, who works outside the home and then she has to come back home and continue to work, that's like her second job. I'm going to share this clip with you and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. Now you'll notice her name is at the bottom, Bella Vandella. That's funny. I like her. She's awesome. I like where her head is at, especially when it comes to this.
What questions are we answering today? I'm so glad you didn't ask. What are the benefits of having a wife in today's society? Why are 80% of divorces initiated by women? How come women don't want to be wives anymore? So since y'all keep throwing this around on the internet, we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about it for real. I'm not pulling no punches. I'm going to shoot straight from the hip. I'm going to tell you the truth. It's not that we don't want to be wives anymore. Marriage was always the goal. It's that we want to be husbands. That's right. We want to be husbands. You want to know why? Because husband privileges are lit, but wife duties at present in America, oh, I know you guys absolutely love taking offense to any logical point that I make while listening to some $1 million podcaster who's built like a Greek god, dates supermodels, and drives a Lambo. But why you're listening to a man who's never walked a mile in your shoes is a little bit befoozling. These men are out of touch with reality. They don't know the day-to-day in 80% of American households. And on the off chance they ever did decide to get married, their wife would have a nanny, a secretary, a maid, a personal chef. And if she didn't, she'd have nothing but time to dote on her husband's every single whim. So some alpha male red pill podcaster jamming down your throat that your wife isn't submissive enough or feminism is the problem is a little bit absurd. At present, all Americans have to work. We have to work to survive. Case in point, you can't even kick your adult kids out anymore. They don't stand a fighting chance in this economy. If you are of adult age, you have to work. You have to contribute. And being a wife and an employee is a conundrum that a lot of husbands just aren't registering to date. Now, let's not get it confused, because I know what you're thinking when I say we want husband privileges. That means you think that we can now have a cage fight and we're equally yoked, because that's feminism to you. But no, I mean, like, you know how nice it would be to come home to a cooked dinner and a clean house after a long day of work, hand my check off to somebody else, let them worry about the bills, tinker in the garage while the kids run amok, and, my wife corrals them, spend a Sunday drinking beer and watching TV while somebody else cooks and cleans, have my socks matched, my laundry done and put away. I didn't have to do that. My coffee ready in the morning. Like, all of the above sounds amazing. Sign me up. Even if it's not all the time. Even if it's only 25% of the time. Maybe 40% if we're being generous, right? But husband privileges are lit while wife duties are insane. The reality for a lot of married working mothers is that they have to do all of the above while still working 8 to 10 hours a day, 5 days a week at a job they hate, with a bunch of other married men who sweetie honey baby them or sexually harass them until their head is ready to explode, just so they can go home at night and still have to cook, clean, and do laundry, all while maintaining a look, diet, exercise, hair, and nails, because God forbid you let yourself go for a second. Then you're not really a woman. You're not feminine anymore, all while attending to everybody's administrative affairs and oddities, school pictures, choir recitals, gymnastics, karate, football practice, football games, football snacks that you gotta hand decorate, because if you don't, you're the worst mother on the team. You gotta take them to doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, optometrist appointments, emergency room visits, sick visits that you have to take off of work for, and your male boss just doesn't understand, all while restocking all of the toiletries, groceries, cleaning supplies, clipping coupons, and going to parent-teacher conferences, tending to everybody's sick days except your own, because apparently being an adult woman means you just don't get sick. Or if you do, absolutely nobody cares. And majority of married working mothers are citing that they are single mothers. They are single married mothers. And the saddest part about all of this, which I know you guys see, you have eyes, you have brains, you love throwing around the fact that 80% of divorces filed are by women. Yes, when women are leaving, it's not for infidelity or money issues or even abuse for that matter. It is simply because they need a break. They need a break. That is the primary reason that most divorce attorneys are citing that women at present are filing for divorce. They are throwing their entire marriage away just so they can get a break. And I really just want you guys to register the magnitude of that last statement. They're throwing out a lifetime commitment just so they can get a break. So before you ever ask, what are the benefits of having a wife, or telling a woman, you're going to die alone, get cats, sir, I'm pretty sure that's the point, right? Because all I got to do is scoop the litter and leave a can of food out. It's hassle-free cuddles and companionship. Like, in the event of divorce, even if the father only gets the children every other weekend, that is 4 days out of the month of uninterrupted downtime. No working, no children, no nothing, okay? You could sleep in, you could shop, you could clean without having to immediately clean afterwards. You could date again. Yeah, that's right. Have a date night with somebody who does want to romance you or maybe appreciates your sense of humor a little bit. It is about being a fucking human. And here's what really bothers me the absolute most about it is the cycle. It's the cycle that nobody acknowledges from both parties, right? Majority of men don't realize how much of a blessing having a wife is until they lose her. And even then, they don't acknowledge it. They become bitter and angry, and they say they feel unseen and unheard. And this is the energy exchange that happens when divorce takes place, right? The women spent the entire marriage feeling angry and bitter and unseen and unheard. And when they leave, guess what? It's the man's turn. Now he's out there thinking his ex-wife is getting her groove back because she dropped 30 pounds and looks amazing. In reality, she just finally has uninterrupted downtime to take a nap or make it to the gym. Meanwhile, he's tuning into some billionaire playboy who's giving him something to point the finger at. Also, he can dodge accountability. Women don't take accountability. It's feminism. It's feminism's fault, right? And feminism, sir, did not ruin your marriage. You did. Okay, feminism gave your wife the legal ability to leave when it all went to shit and she couldn't take it anymore. And guess what? She's out there dating recent divorcees that feel exactly the same way you do. They just pretend they don't. So they can get back the wife that they lost in another woman. So why don't we just skip all the rigmarole and acknowledge the elephant in the room, right? Traditional roles have been abolished. It is what it is. You could shake your hands at feminism and capitalism until you're blue in the face. You can stomp around and pout. You can listen to all the red pill podcast and fifth wave feminism that you want. Unless you got a time machine we can all hop in, it's going to be what it's going to be. Wives are no longer wives. Husbands are no longer husbands. A spouse's job is to be a good partner. And there is benefits in that for everybody. Be present, participate, and be a good partner. And for the love of fucking God, shut up about it already. Fuck off. What questions are...
Well, there you have it, folks. If only a man can walk even half a mile, as you see my little notice here, in a woman's shoes before they start judging women and being so hard on women. Yes, it is very hard for a woman to do it all. You know, personally, me, I'm not a fan for all of this do it all. I believe in Proverbs 31 type of woman because since God created us, he knows what's best and he knows what the best is and what isn't. A capable wife, a perfect wife is described in Proverbs 31. This was not a woman who stayed at home raising kids only, and she was not no stay-at-home wife. She was an amazing woman because she had maid servants. She had someone who was helping her with the household chores. She was working at home, don't get it twisted. But she had someone, she was shrewd enough, wise enough to hire someone to help her. It shows in the scriptures how she got up early in the morning and she would prepare for her maidservants. And she made sure that her household was organized. The family wanted for nothing. I have always been a very organized woman. All my adult life, I've always used schedules. I use schedules because for every hour of the day, trust me when I tell you, my time was spoken for. I even raised my children to try to follow schedules. That way, you're able to get everything done. But like she brought out, that traditional role of the mother picking up the kids, cooking and cleaning, all of that. No, things have changed, sweetheart. No, that traditional role, it has been abolished, because when you look at the kind of economy that we live in, we don't have this. This is not like back in the 70s or the 80s. Have you seen the prices of rent, food, utilities, mortgages? People are actually living in their cars because the rents are astronomical. So it takes two people to work a job. So for all the women who say that they don't believe in 50-50 or 70-30, more power to you. I'm not mad at you because you're entitled to your viewpoint. I'm a firm believer that at least contribute 70-30. I really prefer 50-50 because that's my personality. That's just who I am. But you have other women who see it differently, and I am so not angry at you. I respect your right to your viewpoint and your opinion. I'm not going to shun you. I'm not going to throw you away, because you have a lot of people, if you don't feel the way they feel, if you don't see things the way they see it, then they're pissed off at you and they're ready to throw you in the trash. I'm not her, because everything is based on situations. It's situational, a lot of things. So I keep that in mind. Personally, me, I would never, ever allow my survival to depend on a man. He's the only one bringing in money. My medical or my health benefits depend on him. Nope, that's not happening. I've seen it happen too many times where the man has kicked not only his wife or his partner, his girl out, but the kids too. Talking about, I pay all the bills here, so when I say go, everybody in the house is walking on eggshells and walking on like a tightrope. It's like a landmine. You got to be careful where you step because it may blow up in your face. I don't want to live like that. That don't work for me. But like she says, she made some excellent, valid, very valid points when the men want to say it's feminism that destroyed these marriages today. No, sir. It's not feminism. It's that women are sick and tired. And for all these women or anyone who says that they don't believe in feminism, I don't think you're being honest. That's a lie. Because there was a time when women couldn't have their own bank account. They couldn't get a passport unless they had a man with them, a husband doing this for them. You couldn't buy a house. You couldn't wear pants. You couldn't get an education. You couldn't play sports. You couldn't do damn near anything unless you had a man's permission. You get a house, everything has to go under his name. Everything is under, no. Oh God, no. God help us all. Because I think we are well aware that when a woman's looks start to change or her body starts to change, like let's say she put on some weight, and a lot of women, they have gotten cancer and their hair has fallen out, or they have had to go on some medication for health reasons. And a lot of these medications have steroids in it, and it causes you to blow up, especially birth control pills. It causes a lot of women to put on weight. Men don't care about that. They don't think about things like that. And when they're talking about, I don't want no woman with wigs and weaves. So you telling me that if I were to get sick and I have to wear a wig, a weave, or even extensions to make my hair look thicker, taking pride in the way I look, you have an issue with that? That's dumb. That's petty, it's shallow, it's superficial, it's fickle, and it's stupid. But they have a lot on these women's plate. They put a lot on women's plate. But my second point is, why are women doing all of that? No one has a gun to your head making you do all of that. Stop doing it. You don't have to do all the cooking, the cleaning, the child rearing. You let this dude know, communication is very important, because that's another contributor to the divorce rate. People don't communicate. When I was married, I had a meeting every Saturday or every other Saturday. But trust me, a month was not passing before we have this family meeting. Because without communication, you have no relationship. So you sit down and let him know very respectfully. Watch your tone, not calling anybody out of their name. No profanity is used. And you let him know, this is a bit much for me. And I was hoping that we could kind of, divvy up the chores around here. One week I cook, the next week you cook. One week I'm on with the children, the next week you're on with the children. When it comes to household chores, it would be helpful if you would clean the bathroom once a week, take out the garbage whenever it needs to be taken out, kind of help pick up around the place whenever you see that it tidy up. And maybe you can mop the floors once a week. That's what I expected from my husbands. The garbage, clean the bathroom once a week, and mop the floors. Well, there's only one floor to really mop. That's the hallway and the kitchen, because everything else is carpet. Well, maybe, yeah, you can vacuum, but I vacuum, whatever. But, you're situational. Whatever your situation is in your home, that's how you do this. Now, a lot of the women say, well, he's not going to do it. He's not going to listen, or he'll start doing it and then he'll fall off. So let me tell you something I've learned from a lot of my vanilla sisters. I love my vanilla sisters so much because they've taught me a lot. They don't really argue all that much. Not really. Let me tell you what they do. They do what the hell they want to do anyway. There's no argument. They just say, yep. And then when he's gone, they do what the hell they want to do anyway. So my thing is, if he's not willing to go 50-50 on the housework and the child rearing, you let him know. You don't just do like the runaway husbands. They just up, jump, and run away. They don't even look back. They don't even give you notice. They just gone. No, we don't want to do that, because we women are human. We are very humane. We are very nurturing, and we're kinder than that. But you let him know we're going to have to live separately. Yeah, because we already had this discussion. We had a family meeting. I spoke to you about it the first time, and then I brought it to your attention the second time. That was just a reminder. That wasn't to nag you, because I know you have a lot on your mind. So I just served as a reminder. And now I'm having to come to you again on the third time. See, that's when I'm ready to almost be disrespectful. And God knows I'm trying not to be disrespectful. Okay? But I usually, if I have to tell somebody something a third time, I'm going to come at you raw. Because you've made it very clear that you don't care about how I feel. You don't care about me. Because we've had this discussion. And now action has got to be taken. So I've decided that we're going to live separately. And he's going to make promises. Oh, no, I'm going to do better. And I say, I hear where you're coming from. But no, I made up my mind. And I'm going to live separately. So I would appreciate it if you would move out, because that's the manly thing to do. Get yourself a place. It's easier for a man. He could get a studio, apartment, or a room some damn where. And yeah. Or if he doesn't do that, ladies, start looking for you another place. Because I would do it, whatever. You want to keep the place? No biggie. Keep it. I'm going to get me another place. Because I'm out of here. Now, you have the children for 1 week, and then I'll have the children for 1 week. That way we each get a break. Now he has to clean his own apartment, and I take care of my own apartment. And while he got those kids for a whole week, that's right, your whole week, bye. And my home is clear. I'm not cheating because we're still together. You know what I'm saying? We're still married, and I'm not sleeping with nobody else. He's not supposed to be sleeping with anyone else. And that's where trust comes in, because without trust, there's no point in even going on. If we can't trust each other, that's ridiculous. But that's the way I would handle it, because that's my decision. That's the way I would make that decision, because women should not. Let me reiterate that and put emphasis on it. Women should not be doing it all. When it comes to bills, you already know how I feel about that. If we're living together, I like to do half of the rent. I like to do half on the utility and half on the food. And if we got Wi-Fi, we could do half. Well, he could pretty much take care of the Wi-Fi, hopefully. But I have no qualms with going at it like that too. But that's just my personality. Other women, they see things differently. Like I said, I love you regardless of how you see it. But I only try to encourage women to contribute for their own safety. If he gets stupid and he wants to pack up and leave, make sure you already have a job. You make enough money. Please pay attention to me right now. Make sure you have enough money of your own, so that if he picks up and decides to be one of those runaway husbands that you see on Facebook, because they just picking up and leaving, honey, you have enough to cover everything for you and your children. Or even if he picks up and leave and you was doing 50-50, you could get a roommate and that would be easily handled, instead of you was depending on him for everything solely. And now that he picked up and left because your looks changed, your body changed, now you'll be okay. Get yourself a roommate. I always suggest women stay single if you want my view, because it's just easier. I like the point that she brought out when she says, when they want to threaten you, you're going to live alone and you're just going to have a cat. Honey, I have a cat, and his name is Royalty, and he is the king around this house. He's a tuxedo. You see how I turned into my baby voice? Yeah, because he's totally cute. Absolutely. So I scoop out his poop, put some water and food down. My job is done. He's very affectionate, very cuddly, loves to be close to his mom. And that's not my love language. Touch is definitely not my love language, but you know, he likes that cuddling and the furry and rub him up and all. And that's that. But I had to share this video with you. She's amazing. I love the way her mind works. Her name is Bella Vandella on TikTok. Check her out. This is the first one I've seen of her, so I got to check out some more of her TikToks, because if it's one thing I love, and I have nothing but the utmost respect for strong women. I love me a strong, smart, capable woman. Anyway, there you have it, my beautiful diamonds. And you know you're beautiful. Jehovah loves you, Jesus loves you, and I love you very much. And I want you to always see yourself through the eyes of Christ. The way God sees you, the most beauty in you, that's the way you need to look in the mirror. And you should always see yourself that way as well. Diamonds, diamonds, diamonds. I love you.